Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We are here at the Mall of Asia Arena where we are moments away, actually 45 minutes away to be specific, from the start of De La Salle University versus Adamson University in a playoff match, the most exciting kind of atmosphere in the UAAP for the remaining Final Four spot this season. The winner of this game will go on to face the Ateneo Blue Eagles in the 1 versus 4 Final Four series matchup, which is scheduled to start on Wednesday. But before we get there, we are going to have two exciting teams, the Soaring Falcons and the Green Archers, both with 7-7 records, battling it out on the court for the chance.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Always a pleasure. Kurt, so you played for LaSalle just a few months ago in season 84, so you're kind of familiar with this team still. What are you feeling? Where's your mind at heading into this big game between two teams who are going to be hungry to make it to the Final Four?
I think I can speak for both of the teams. They're very, relaxed, cool, but at the same time nervous, have the jitters. So it's just a time of excitement. Also, show what you can do and perform out there.
Definitely. Now, you were in this kind of setup not long ago. You guys were in an elimination matchup against UP in Game 1. You got the job done. Yeah. Almost got the job done in Game 2. Came very close. So, what are you doing to prepare for this kind of situation moments before the game? Take us through the emotions the players must be feeling right now.
It's a lot of mixed emotions. Obviously, it's a big game for everybody. So, it's just a matter of, I think it's who's really the dog out there and taking advantage of the moment and embracing that moment. So,
who's got the dog in them, right?
Ooh, that's the hard part because they're both really good, talented players or play like teams. So it's obviously I'm from the South, so I got a little hierarchy a little bit over them.
So interesting question here. What's something you're encouraged about and something you're worried about if you're both teams?
Ooh.
Let's start with LaSalle. What are you encouraged about? What are you a little worried about? Then let's go to Adamson after that.
Okay, say that again first.
What are you encouraged about, like a strength you're leaning on? And then what's like a weakness that each team has to be worried about?
Okay, for LaSalle, I think they're really good at pacing the game, when to push it, fast game or slow game, half court game. But something that I'm a little worried about is probably turnovers. Adamson is not really a pressing team, but they do have a tendency to turn the ball over, just have a little bit of mislaps. But at the end of the day, you can fix that. And then for Adamson is just I think maturing, and it's just a matter of them stepping up to the plate, and yeah, that's about it.
Interesting. This might be the final game of the UAAP career of Jerome Lastimosa. You were in a similar situation playing your final game just a few months ago. When you know it's about to be your last chance playing for the crowd, for the UAAP collegiate atmosphere, how are you feeling? Take us through Jerome Lastimosa's mind right now, if this is his final game.
I think take a step, just one step at a time. I think you have to enjoy the moment, and at the same time, you want to be that player that that you could be. So at the end of the day, it's just a matter of just representing yourself, and as long as you played your game and you're proud of what you did, you'll be fine.
Okay, I think I have a feeling what you're going to say, but can we get a prediction out of you? Who's going to win this game?
Oh, I go either or, but I'm from both schools,
That's true.
But I'm going for LaSalle. I have to, Nidveen.
If LaSalle wins, who's the player who steps up the most?
I know he always does this every game, but it's going to be Evan for sure. I told Evan to drop a 30-piece, so hopefully.
Okay, we will find out if Evan Nelly follows what Kurt Lohera's advice was. Kurt, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate you, bro. Kurt Lohera, everybody. So let's take a look at some of the interesting trivia about both teams. Now, both Adamson and LaSalle started the season pretty slow. Both were nursing below 500 records after the first round. Now, both have stepped up in the second round despite key injuries. Of course, the Soaring Falcons lost Jerome Lastimosa for a few games. They thought he was lost for the whole season when he dislocated his foot in a game against the UP Fighting Maroons. But Lastimosa is back, and right now he's right there warming up in a Steph Curry jersey, ironically. So maybe that's a sign of how he will perform today. We shall find out. LaSalle, on the other hand, I believe they have played their full roster only twice or three times this entire season. They have been plagued by injuries, suspensions to Evanelli, and a little bit of inconsistency in the rotations. For this game, one of the big questions was who is going to be healthy? Who is going to be available for the Green Archers? By the time they were warming up around 10 minutes ago, we did not see Michael Phillips, we did not see Kevin Kembao, and we did not see Deshaun Winston getting ready for this game with their team. Now, the word in the street is Michael Phillips has some kind of head injury. It's nothing serious. He was cleared of all major scans, but there's still some discomfort there, which is why we might not see him in action today. Deshaun Winston's calf has been, well, it's been recovering, not quite fully recovered yet, and he has been participating some in practices as of late. But it's still uncertain if we will see him in action today, in game action. And for Kevin Kimbao, the word in the street was he had a fever in his last game against UST, LaSalle's last game against UST, which they won without him, but he might not make it back yet today. However, all of these guys are game time decisions, so we will not know for certain who will be available among them, if any at all, until right before the opening tip. Let's take a look at the last two games between both teams. In the first contest in the Inara Center in Antipolo, Adamson beat LaSalle in overtime thanks to a spirited comeback led by Jerome Lastimosa. The second time both teams faced each other at the Big Dome, the Smart Araneta Coliseum, CJ Austria hit a game winner at the buzzer, which propelled the Green Archers over the Soaring Falcons. Now imagine if CJ doesn't hit that shot, we might not be having this game today. Both teams are fairly even. That's why the expectation is they will again go down to the final moments of the contest to determine who will get the number 4 seed. Here are some key stats to take note of. Adamson was a turnover machine against DLSU in the two games they played each other, which is something that negated the rebounding advantage over LaSalle and let the Green Archers get back in the game when it seemed like the Soaring Falcons had the chance to pull away early both occasions. Coach Nash Rosella, after Adamson's last loss against Ateneo, also ruled his team's inability to avoid sending opposing players to the free throw line. Adamson leads the whole season. The big question for LaSalle is where's the scoring going to come from with Phillips, with Winston, and with Kimbao all possibly out? Can Evan Nelly take on more of a scoring load in addition to his duties as a court general? We shall find out. Now, we will catch you all after the game after what seems to be an exciting contest. For Rappler, this is Naveen Ganglani.